the heart. This is very characteristic of New York, and I feel like I can't really leave the city without it.
It just gives you a statement, basically, so that's why we like it.
Design very often demands an interval between seeing and understanding. In the case of I Love New York, it's a puzzle with three separate parts. I for a person, love, a symbol for an experience, NY is a representation of a place. But it happens to be a puzzle everybody solves immediately. And as a result of that, it stays fixed in the memory. People were moving out of New York by the hundreds, by the thousands every day because the place itself had become so difficult to live in. Crime was rampant. I wanted to say, I'm going to stay. I love this place. I'm not going to be defeated. I'm going to make it better. And I Love New York was a manifestation of that commitment. I submitted it, and then a day afterwards I realized it wasn't good enough. It was really forgettable. I mean, it was two simple lines of lettering and then a lozenge, much like all the logos you see around every day of your life. So I did something that had occurred to me in a taxi, in a flash, and I jotted it down and I showed it to the commissioner, and it was changed from what had already been accepted. And it turned out to be my instincts were correct. People responded to it.
Comedy show tonight. Just get tickets.
Anyone who lives in New York will see it 100 times a day. It's become incredibly more pervasive than I ever dreamed. It seemed to me there was almost no way of avoiding the issue of global warming, but we had all heard about it so frequently that we had become immune to the experience. I came up with the line, it's not warming, it's dying, because the idea of global warming is sort of comforting. It doesn't sound threatening. When I did the I Love New York image, I was doing something much more complex. Here, I really want to do it more symbolically and more emotionally, and to position the idea as one between life and death. So that dialectic is reflected in the button itself, which is green being overcome by black, or a verdant earth being overcome by a disaster. Ultimately, my objective is to have this icon distributed sufficiently, largely through the internet and through young people's concerns, so that everyone in the world will be wearing it.
It's just amazing things that people throw out, people just don't want. I've been with the New York City Department of Sanitation for the last 34 years. I started collecting about 29 years ago.